If I have to, I will spend every day of the rest of my life hunting the Avatar. I know it's my destiny to capture him.
You know, Prince Zuko, destiny is a funny thing. You never know how things are going to work out, but if you keep an open mind and an open heart, I promise you will find your own destiny someday.
I know my own destiny, Uncle.
Is it your own destiny? Or is it a destiny someone else has tried to force on you?
Stop it, Uncle. I have to do this.
I'm begging you, Prince Zuko. It's time for you to look inward and begin asking yourself the big questions. Who are you? And what do you want?
How do we know something is truly what we want and isn't tainted by another's ideals? Our own perception of things we want can be tainted by our own background, where it would lead to following a path or believing in a destiny that isn't set for what we truly want. Throughout the show, Zuko was on a journey to achieve a destiny that he assumed was his own, but why? How can anyone be blinded by what they really want? In Zuko's position, he adopts this destiny that wasn't set for himself because of his honor. I mean, that is what we're always told throughout the story. But there is more than the concept of honor to Zuko. How we know this is by what he gains from this honor. Zuko gains acceptance from his father and admiration from the Fire Nation. To Zuko, he assumes the Fire Nation is pinnacle of all 4 nations. Gratefully for Zuko, this journey places him to many more challenges that will shape Zuko from a different man compared to when the show started. Also, shout out to Uncle Iroh, great wisdom and guidance for Zuko throughout those challenges. But once Zuko had released Appa, his life inside the walls of Ba Sing Se was sorting out well. Zuko and Iroh were at peace. Until Zuko was placed in a position to capture the Avatar and join forces with Azula, where at this moment in an instance, Zuko was given the ultimate test, a test that he failed, as he joins Azula and betrays Iroh in the process. The audience at this moment becomes so frustrated with Zuko as we follow his story throughout the show thoroughly, where he and the main cast themselves start to feel connected with Zuko, but again, he just became another hurdle for the main cast. Zuko once again followed the same journey that was pushed onto him even after the challenges he had faced to overcome this said journey. As us audiences are upset and frustrated with this, because as ourselves, we've made similar choices that turn us back into pleasing others. For Zuko's case, it is to please his father. For us audiences, it can be our parents, friends, lovers, teachers, or so much more. It may have begun with following a journey someone else sets out for you, but then you start to believe this is a journey you actually always wanted because it benefits the others you love or the others you care for. It's a good thing the mind knows what it truly wants, so it'll be difficult for you to convince yourself, just as Zuko did here.
You brought this on yourself, you know. We could have returned together. You could have been a hero. You have no right to judge me, Uncle. I did what I had to do in Ba Sing Se, and you're a fool for not joining me. You're not going to say anything? You're a crazy old man! You're crazy! And if you weren't in jail, you'd be sleeping in a gutter!
Zuko presenting himself to Iroh wasn't to call out Iroh for not making the right decision. Instead, it was just a projection for Zuko, because he was so conflicted with his own decision if it was right or wrong, even after being rewarded it. But why? Why would Zuko question his decision? He has everything he wanted, his honor and his father's respect. It's obvious to us audiences that this isn't truly what Zuko wants, as he has been fooling himself into thinking it is, causing him to have an internal dilemma with himself.
I'm just angry!
Yeah. Who are you angry at, Zuko?
Everyone! I don't know!
Is it Dad?
No!
Your uncle? Me?
No!
Then who? Who are you angry at?
Answer the question, Zuko. Talk to us.
Come on, answer the question.
Come on, answer it.
I'm angry at myself!
Why?
Because I'm confused. Because I'm not sure I know the difference between right and wrong anymore.
You're pathetic.
There is a belief when a person is at their lowest, they will have an internal reconcile with themselves that'll pave the way for their new journey. The name for this adversity is rock bottom. Now, I don't only see this adversity being only faced when people are at their lowest, but when they've apprised a higher role or status quo they have assumed is a role that they always wanted due to its impression on everyone else. An example of this can be pulled from real world encounters where people will tend to leave their long term job due to a new desire or a desire for a meaningful job. Encounters as this happen in a variety amount of times in individuals due to the pandemic or even after pandemic. Now you may be wondering how this will be implemented to Zuko's character. Well, how doesn't it? Instead of reaching the rock bottom, Zuko had reached the top, a role he presumed would have been best fitting, but for everyone else. Zuko obtained his destiny because it benefited those around him. But now, he's become a pawn to a destiny that was never his own. Until
I am going to speak my mind, and you are going to listen. For so long, all I wanted was for you to love me, to accept me. I thought it was my honor that I wanted, but really, I was just trying to please you. You, my father, who banished me just for talking out of turn. My father, who challenged me, a 13-year-old boy, to an Agni Kai. How can you possibly justify a duel with a child?
It was to teach you respect.
It was cruel, and it was wrong.
Then you've learned nothing.
No, I've learned everything, and I've had to learn it on my own. Growing up, we were taught that the Fire Nation was the greatest civilization in history, and somehow, the war was our way of sharing our greatness with the rest of the world. What an amazing lie that was. The people of the world are terrified by the Fire Nation. They don't see our greatness. They hate us, and we deserve it. We've created an era of fear in the world, and if we don't want the world to destroy itself, we need to replace it with an era of peace and kindness.
Your uncle has gotten to you, hasn't he?
Yes, he has.
audiences love redemption. They adore characters with this fundamental in their story because it gravitates the character to humanity's favorite trait, mistakes. Mistakes have a grave complexity for humans as they create adaptability for growth. This is where Zuko stands as one of our sole cast members in Avatar. His imperfection creates the beauty to his character. And with this growth and his own destiny ready to be set, Zuko has one last challenge to face, the biggest of them all.
Uncle, I know you must have mixed feelings about seeing me. But I want you to know, I am so sorry, Uncle. I am so sorry and ashamed of what I did. I don't know how I can ever make it up to you, but How can you forgive me so easily? I thought you would be furious with me.
I was never angry with you. I was sad because I was afraid you lost your way.
I did lose my way.
But you found it again. And you did it by yourself. And I'm so happy you found your way here.
It wasn't that hard, Uncle. You have a pretty strong scent.